First fish of the day.
First fish of the day. Ooh, let's not let drop him here. Hey, Delaware River Spring Tournament, Charlie Greenleaf Memorial. See what happens. It's going to be a good one.
Delaware Valley Outdoors, your best source for fishing information on TV, radio, and the internet.
There you go. I think he's on the trailer hook. Bring him right up. Right in. There we go.
Oh, she doggies.
Barely hooked.
Trailer hook, right?
Trailer hook. Better than life insurance.
Here with my good fishing buddy, Steve Horvath. Steve, we're on the Delaware River. We're in a Charlie Greenleaf Memorial Tournament.
Yep, buddy tournament today.
Got about 50 boats out here, which I think is a great, great thing for the guy.
Raises money.
Raises money. And
let's make sure this fish goes in the live well, not back like you TV guys do.
Yeah. Catch them on spinner baits. We're in a creek. Got a little bit of fish here, and it's tidal, so we just got to wait for the tide.
That's it. Right. Outgoing water.
All right. Oh, I love when a plan comes together. Steve, these cuts are really important to fish them because the fish pull out from with the tide, and they lay out in the front of these cuts.
Yeah, the other thing is the water comes rushing out of the cut, and all the little bait fish that were up in there feeding, well, they come out and the bass are just waiting out here to eat them.
That was right off the end of this cut. We got a little deeper water here.
Yep, kind of out of the current a little bit here. It's springtime. Fish really don't want to be out in a heavy current.
And the fish aren't on the beds, right yet.
Not yet, no. Kind of a pre-spawn deal we're on here.
And of course, we have a cold front.
Oh man, is it cold. It's 20-some degrees colder than it was this time yesterday.
Yeah. But that really, I don't know if this cold front, it probably bothers us more than it bothers the fish. Because that wasn't so drastic of a couple of days.
I think it does. And the other thing is, it's cold out here, but the air temperature is still warmer than the water temperature. So it's it's a negative on us. It's windy. We're out of the wind this second, but I promise you, it's windy.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get a few more, and we'll have a good showing at the weigh-in.
Well, again, you got to look for that deeper water, and those fish are just going to hang off of that. Now, the fish are just staging out here. Now they'll go up in the cuts and out here a little bit to spawn, right?
Yeah, anywhere that they can find a barrier from the current. A lot of guys that fish the river a lot call it nook and cranny fishing. Mm-hmm. Anywhere you get a nook and cranny. I think I had an itchy trigger finger that time. Anywhere you get a nook and cranny, a fish can nose its way in there to get out of the current and spawn, and they'll do it.
Yeah, because we have some falling down logs up here and stuff like that. They'll just right on the end of that.
Yep. A lot of times, first they'll move up out on the end of the point or the structure or the cover or, whatever they happen to be able to hide around. And then the warmer the water gets, they just move up shallower and shallower until they spawn. Another 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, I think that the
full moon's right around the 15th.
Yeah.
And you get a full moon around the 15th of May, and the fishing in the river is fabulous.
We're throwing two different baits. I'm throwing a spinner bait. You're throwing a crankbait, and I mentioned before that it's probably best that we don't throw the same bait, right?
Yeah, exactly, Bob. We're fishing kind of slow. We're covering the water real well. And, I'm throwing a bait that's hopefully going to catch a fish that maybe, turned up its nose at your spinner bait, Just doesn't want the spinner bait, maybe something with a little wobble will do it. And the other thing is, you're fishing your spinner bait and it stays up real good. And I'm fishing a little deeper with the crankbait. And you'll also see it's like when we come up to, it's like a nice hard object, like a rock or a log or something, I'll grab my flipping stick down there and I'll pitch a tube, And, that's how I caught that other fish. We came on the concrete all of a sudden, and you just pulled the tube over the concrete, and he was there.
Yeah, a lot of times the spinnerbait actually will get their attention, and all of a sudden the crankbait goes by and they can't stand it.
Exactly. You know, the other thing is we're not fishing alone here. I mean, we've got another boat here, you know, not more than 100 feet away from us, so it's not like we have this place to ourselves.
Right.
You know, we have to catch every fish we can as soon as we can, or somebody else is going to pick it off on us.
Right. So the more dimensions we put out there.
Exactly. More choices we give them. Kind of like a buffet.
Yeah.
You know, you might want the ham, I might want the turkey.
That's right. Yeah, and each fish, they might want something slow. The other fish might want a faster moving bait.
And you can catch different size fish on different baits sometimes too. You know, like you might catch bigger fish than I might catch on a crankbait, you know, but you may only catch 2 or 3 fish. I might catch a half dozen, you know, and it all goes to the end. You know, it's the boat that's got the heaviest 5 fish at the end of the day today.
Right.
You know, we gotta have to give ourselves every chance we can.
Yeah, this is a little different because we're in a tournament. We have a certain amount. We got 8 hours to do it.
Exactly.
And, the tide is going out, so we're working with the tide too. That's actually part of our structure too.
Right, and everything, you know, every pass we make down the bank, you know, could be the crucial pass. Because these fish just don't stay still all day. They swim up and down the bank, in and out. You know, they move around. And if we make the pass when the right fish is there and we catch them, that can make the difference between $1,000 on, you know, to take on the way home and nothing. You know, it's a 5 fish limit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of boats with limits, and their weights are going to be very close together.
Yeah. So just that one little fish could make the difference.
Exactly. And there's a lot of good fishermen out here.
Yep.
You've got guys that are fishing a pro circuit. You've got guys that fished circuits like Foxwood and stuff like that. And then you got us.
And then you have us.
The danger dog will bite your ankle. The danger dog will bite your ear. The danger dog will bite your bottom if you come near. That's the danger dog. Dog.
Want to feel appreciated? When you spend time with kids, anytime, it helps prevent crime.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
Mommy, what's wrong?
You can refuse to be a victim, and we can help. Call now about the I Refuse to Be a Victim safety course from the women of the NRA. It's not about guns or joining the NRA. It's about planning your own personal safety strategy. Call now.
Steve, it's like 10 o'clock now, and we have a limit of fish
Right.
in the boat. So now we're comfortable. At least we got a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Right, we're going to weigh in our limit. We have somewhat of a chance, but we need to upgrade the fish that we've got.
So now,
And-
do we switch baits, or do we stick with the same baits? You know, like sometimes you might want to go with a jig or something like that, because, you know, it's a big bite. You know, it's only one bite, but it's going to be a big
Right.
bite. Or do
My
we-
own theory, or what I believe is going to happen today, is we're just fishing around a certain class of fish, and that's what we're catching. Maybe as the tide goes out or the tide changes, you know, a different group of fish may move into the same water that we're fishing. Bait size on the river, you got to remember, you know, river a lot of times is not a big bait type of place. You know, compact baits, stuff like that, and we've caught lots of big fish in the river on small stuff, the
On
4-inch
4-inch
stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's probably one of the best numbers baits. And right now, you know, I'm just hoping to call through an ounce here, an ounce there, and eventually we'll get to where we'll catch a 2 or 3 pounder, and that'll upgrade a pound or 2.
Right. That'll move 2 fish out to
Right.
do it. And again, we're just going off of these mud flats.
Yep.
Where there's a drop off.
Yeah, the first little drop off the mud, that's where the fish are. Which is highly unusual. You know, you would think these fish by now would be going to swim, but hey, we had a cold spring.
Yeah.
Really cold spring.
And the water temperature isn't too bad. It's in the 60s. but-
It's right around 60,
Yeah.
but you got to remember, we just had a bunch of 70-degree days, and that's the surface temperature.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure if you went down a few feet, 3, 4, 5 feet, it's probably more like mid-50s. You know, and that's a little chilly for largemouths to be spawning.
And you can tell. I mean, even our hits haven't been that aggressive.
No, you know, there's
Every
been a
once
couple of fish
yeah.
that grabbed the worm. You know, that it was they really nailed the worm. Other than that, though, you know, the fish that have been on the spinnerbait and the crankbait caught bottom.
It felt good. I'll tell you that much.
Just don't pull the drain plug out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the couple of fish that we've caught on like the spinnerbaits and stuff, they sucked it in. They haven't been, you know, real aggressive. Yep, that'll help us.
That'll help us. Steve,
Ounces.
right over that mud bank.
Yep, same spot.
Yep. He hit that right off the bank. Right off the bank. Yeah, that's got a little weight to it.
Yep.
Belly. Nice fish. Come on, we just got to get a little bigger. Just a little bigger. All right.
There he is. Big one, Bob.
Okay.
Here we go. Just by the trailer hook. That one will help.
I love when a plan comes together.
Gotta love a trailer hook.
Love that trailer hook. There's 2 fish right off of that.
Yep.
That stuff right
Same
there.
spot.
Yep. Oh, let's get out of here. Woo! Now you got that on a spinnerbait.
Yep, we got the spinnerbait mojo going.
All right, I love it. We just picked up 2 fish back to back. And we're going through a dry spell here. Tide's real low. But right off of these rocks in here, got a little deeper water coming off of it, and we found fish again.
Yep, it's a little transition zone. You go from a mud bank to a you know, a rocky bank, and it's, you know, it's the first thing where there's something different for the fish to relate to.
And the fish
You know,
are
and
just
the fish have, you know, it seems like they've moved off of the little mud flat where we caught them.
Right.
It's pretty much dry there now.
Right.
And, you know, this is probably the next spot for them to come and hold. And they'll probably move back on the flat as the tide
Let's
comes
probably
up.
move up and down on this stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we caught a couple more. Right over here, Bob.
Better fish here, Bubs.
Yep. What bag are they in?
He only had a $5 bill, didn't he? These are way more than $5. Well, Steve, it's about time.
That's it. I think we're done.
We got our time in. We're going to see how we do. We'll find out how we did. After this break, we'll go to the weigh-in and see what happened.
You can hear the beep a little louder.
The JATES program has helped me so much in the outdoors. For a long time, I didn't even know what conservation even was. I want to do my part for wildlife. I love being a JATE. Whether you hunt or not, the JATES program has something for everyone. I know I'm doing my part for wildlife. I really believe children hold the key to the future of wildlife. And NWTF believes it too.
Each year, thousands are senselessly killed by people with no criminal record at all. People like you.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been backstage before? 'Cause you're the exit.
I think you'll find that gravity is key in what I do.
Once was one, but now we're two. I'm spinning out of
Oh. Yeah, we got nothing close to that. Nah. 30.
Boat
Yep.
number?
Boat number 30.
30. 5 fish. No longer.
Oh, go ahead. You can do it, Jimmy. Go ahead.
9.04.
I'll dump them right back in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here with Jim Schaefer, owner of Durstein Baits. Jim, you put on a great show today. You sponsored a tournament for a friend of yours, a friend of a lot of people here, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Give us a little background about how the tournament came about.
Well, Charlie Greenleaf was a friend to everybody. He's been fishing the tournament circuits for about 25 years, and he always was helping the kids. He gave a lot of fishing equipment to the children, and he helped the big brothers and big sisters with people that were less fortunate than the rest of us. And he had a sudden departure from this earth here last summer when he was up fishing in Canada in his favorite waters.
Well, and then how did this tournament come about then?
Well, I just decided that I wanted to do it for Charlie and for his family. Charlie was a good friend of mine, and like I say, he never had a bad word to say about anybody. And everybody I mentioned it to said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. And so we had a real good turnout today.
We did. We had, what, 40
boats?
40
yep.
boats. That's 80 people.
Yeah,
we had a
80
good turnout.
fishermen.
A lot of fish.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fish.
A lot of limits, too.
Yeah, a lot of limits.
A lot of limits.
And there was a lot of pretty good limits, too, not just little stuff.
Yeah, it took a good number. And it was a 5-fish limit, so
yes.
It's a pretty good number to do that on the river. We had, I think, you know, the good Lord shined on us today.
Yeah.
We had a nice day. and it was a good time. A lot of people turned out. We gave Durstein baits away.
Oh yeah.
And we had a lot of other things.
Everybody fished today. I gave them a free spinnerbait, and we had two anonymous donors that gave me checks for Charlie's Charities. Pretty good substantial amount too.
And first prize here was $1,000.
$1,000 first prize, $500 for second prize, and lunker, the biggest fish, was a 4-pounder, and that was $400
That was a good day. Well, Jim, I want to thank you. Okay, I'm here with John and Mike. Guys, it was a pretty good day out there for you. You cashed a check for about $1,000, am I correct?
Yes.
Quickly, I know you're not going to tell me all the great spots you were. What did you catch your baits on, just basically? Was it a worm, a spinnerbait, or a variety?
We're using spinner baits, the Deerstein spinner bait. We caught a couple fish on those, a couple fish on some other brands of spinner baits, and Mike caught the big fish on the jig and pig. We basically got the fish early, and the tide was going out.
The tide was going out. That's important, I guess, for you guys to really to run the tides as far as it's like a clock around here that you have to do. Did you find it any more difficult with the cold front? I mean, you probably pre-fished a little bit to see the fish. Did the cold front bother you guys much?
No.
I thought you got more weight.
Seems like the bigger ones turned on when the front came in.
When the front came in, we had a lot of wind this morning. Hey, it was cold this morning.
Yeah, it was
I don't want to say anything. Well, look, congratulations, guys. You did a heck of a job. I guess, are you going to fish again tomorrow? Or,
No, not tomorrow. We're not allowed to go tomorrow. Maybe after today we can, but...
Well, John, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, and have fun with all that money.
Hey, by the way, we won that for Charlie Greenleaf for the ABA.
All right. Well, Stevie, here's the tackle box section of the show. Springtime can be tough, but you got to throw some different kind of baits. We had the tide that was helpful today, really, but with that cold front, it got a little tough, right?
It did. You know, cold front came through. We had nice weather, you know, in the days preceding the tournament. This morning it was about 20 degrees colder than it was, you know, previous mornings, plus we had a north wind. You know, the only thing that we did have in our favor was we had some outgoing water. You know, the fish were pretty subtle the way they hit. You know, they weren't real voracious the way they fed. And we really had to work for our fish today.
And the bait that came through for us, at least it came for me, was my Durstein spinnerbait. And I have to tell that Jimmy Schaefer, who owns Durstein, made this bait up for me 2 days ago and said, Bob, try this bait. And it really worked.
Sure did.
It really came through. And it's one of his favorites, and it's a willow leaf, copper or gold color, and then a little silver Colorado, and a chartreuse head. Right? We always like that contrast.
Chartreuse head on the white or the shad body seems like it makes a difference.
The other thing that we did put on was the trailer hook.
Don't leave home without it.
And that helped a lot. I mean, the fish that we did catch today.
Every fish on the spinnerbait had the trailer hook. We never had one on the main hook today.
And the fish weren't really hitting that hard. They were just like
no, they kind of just they kind of just sucked it in and they were there.
Yeah. And so, trailer hook tournament, trailer hook. Okay. The other baits that we caught fish on was my favorite was a baby brush hog, a Zoom baby brush hog. Again, we were just pitching it up on mud banks.
Mud banks, and it seemed like the fish held out right just past the low tide line, right where the final break is into the main channel there. And you had to work for them. You had to fish the worm or the brush hog or whatever, you know, the tube that we used. You had to fish it slow, you know, and you had to make repeated passes, and you really had to slow down. When you have cold front conditions, you have to slow down, you know, and that was a big secret.
And it was a slow presentation. And the other bait, and this is another Durstein bait.
Right.
It's a super sinker.
Yep.
And I had this put into big fish for us today.
It did catch our biggest fish. We had a little 5-minute flurry there. We had 3 fish in 5 minutes, and you know, some decent fish.
Again, it's a, what do you call it, pumpkin seed?
Yeah,
with a
pumpkin green flake.
With a little green
Yeah.
flake. I like this color down here, especially in the stained water, so
Yep.
it works really good. And our last bait we were using?
I caught some fish on a Zoom tube today.
And just pitching it up in the...
Pitching it up, we used it as an object bait. Anytime we came to an object, you know, you'd run by it with the spinner bait, and I'd throw the crankbait by it, and then bang, we'd throw the tube in, and sometimes we got the fish on the tube.
And that's the tackle box. Steve, thanks a lot. Don't forget to see us on Delaware Valley Outdoors. Go to our website, DelawareValleyOutdoors.com. Tides, weather reports, fish, everything. Come back and see us. I'm Bob Murray. See you on the water. Or something. Look at this.
Look at that. A couple pyramids. Oh, look at all those frickin' sinkers you got. Man, if lead were gold, you'd be a million.
Look at that. Now there's a catch. How many sinkers I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a bad catch. That's a limit right there.
That's it. You got your limit of lead.
I got my limit of sinkers here. There's some nice ones too. Now these are spring sinkers now. See?
Yeah, they're different than the fall run.
Yeah, you don't see.
They're typically heavier now because they spawn.
Yeah, you can see that. So look, this one here must have spawned out. It's so flat.
Yep.
Look at that. Yeah. Woo! Put that right in the live well. Jeez.